So there's this quiet but pretty amazing revolution happening in France. And what's fascinating is that it connects the pet curled up on your sofa, the food on our plates, and even the animals roaming in the wild. It's a story about tech, it's about ethics, and it's about totally rethinking how we relate to the entire animal kingdom. Okay, so what do your pet, your dinner, and a wild wolf all have in common? It sounds kind of like a riddle, right? On the surface, you'd think absolutely nothing. But in France, they've actually all become central to this huge technological and ethical shift. Turns out, the common thread is this incredible wave of innovation focused completely on animal well-being. And listen, this isn't just some niche trend, it's a fundamental shift. We're going to see exactly how it's playing out in our homes, on our farms, and yeah, even out in the wild.
Let's start where this whole thing feels the most personal for a lot of us, right in our own homes. We're diving into the world of pet tech, and it's completely changing the game for how we care for our animal companions.
77 million. Just let that number sink in for a second. That's how many pets were in France back in 2020. I mean, that's more pets than people. And when you have a population that massive, well, it creates this incredible demand and an incredible opportunity for new ways to care for them. But here's the thing, it's not just about the market size, it's grounded in a new legal reality. A landmark French law now officially recognizes animals as êtres vivants doués de sensibilité, which basically means living beings endowed with sensitivity. And that's not just a nice, fluffy sentiment, it's a real legal framework that has fueled a whole wave of innovation built on respect. And, of course, this creates a huge business opportunity. Get this, in France, only about 7% of pets are insured. Now, just compare that to the UK, where it's 46%. For any innovator, that massive gap is like a giant flashing sign that says, hey, there's a huge untapped market right here for better pet care. So, as you can imagine, startups have just flooded into this space. You've got companies like Dalma, a totally digital pet insurance company that raised 20 million euros. Then there are connected gadgets like Kippy's GPS trackers that let you monitor your pet's activity right from your phone. Even cat furniture is getting a sustainable designer makeover from companies like Homey Cat. And, of course, telemedicine has arrived with platforms like VetsApp, bringing vet advice right to your screen. Now, this intense focus on individual animal well-being, it doesn't stop at our front door. The very same principles are now transforming one of our oldest industries, agriculture. Welcome to the smart future of farming. The fundamental shift here is all about moving from reaction to prevention. Traditionally, farming is reactive. You treat an animal once it's already sick. But this new precision farming completely flips that model on its head. It uses technology to stop an illness before it can even take hold. Take a company called Cow Manager, for example. They put a simple sensor on a cow's ear that's constantly monitoring things like temperature and behavior. An AI then analyzes all that data, looking for tiny changes that could signal an illness, sometimes up to 3 days before the cow shows any obvious symptoms. The farmer gets an alert on their phone and can step in early. It's preventative, it's precise, and honestly, it's just way better for the animal. And this tech goes way beyond simple monitoring. We're seeing innovations tackling really specific welfare challenges. Bovadapt has designed handling equipment just to reduce stress. A startup called BioAZ is developing a painless alternative to surgical castration for piglets. And Phagos is even creating therapies to fight bacterial infections without using antibiotics, which, as you can imagine, is a huge deal for everyone. Okay, so we've seen this tech at home and on the farm. But what happens when you apply these tools to our planet's most fragile ecosystems? Out in the wild, technology is actually becoming an essential part of conservation itself. For people on the front lines of conservation, this tech is a total game changer. The WWF, for instance, helped create an open source tool called SMART. It uses AI to help rangers on the ground collect real-time data on animal populations and poaching threats. AI-powered camera traps can sift through thousands of photos automatically, identifying species and saving researchers hundreds of hours. And drones, of course, allow scientists to monitor at-risk populations without ever disturbing them. But, and this is a big but, here's the paradox. The same exact technology can be both a savior and a threat. For a scientist, a drone is a fantastic, non-invasive tool for observation. But, as groups like France's League for the Protection of Birds are warning, for wildlife, a tourist drone can seem just like a predator. That stress can be enough to make birds abandon their nests, disrupting entire ecosystems. Pets? Farms, wildlife, they all seem like completely separate worlds, don't they? But maybe the most important innovation happening in France is the idea that they aren't separate at all, that they're all part of a single, connected ecosystem. And Miss brings us to the core idea tying this whole revolution together: One Health. It's a concept that's both really simple and incredibly profound. It recognizes that you just cannot separate the health of humans, the health of animals, and the health of the environment. They're all linked. And in France, this has moved way beyond academic theory. It's become a practical framework that is driving real-world innovation and inspiring new solutions that benefit everyone. And you can really see this in practice. Remember Phagos developing those antibiotic alternatives for farms? Well, that's not just about healthier livestock. It's a direct assault on antibiotic resistance, which is a massive threat to human health. Or think about the student vet clinic in Lyon that cares for the pets of people in poverty. They found a direct link. Improving an animal's health dramatically improves its owner's mental health. That right there is One Health in action. Ultimately, when you step back and look at it all, this revolution shows that technology is connecting us to the lives of animals in ways we never, ever thought possible. We have these unprecedented tools to monitor, understand, and care for them. And that leaves us with one really crucial question. Now that we have this power, what is our responsibility?